वेलकम बैक टू स्पोर्ट्स वन। कामरान अकमल को आपने सुना। अब हम बात करेंगे मिकी आर्थर से, जो पाकिस्तान के भी साबिक कोच रह चुके हैं और श्रीलंका के भी साथ बतौर कोच काम कर चुके हैं। बड़ा वसीम इनका तजुर्बा है। इनके काम के बारे में आपको क्या बताऊं। मिकी आर्थर इंग्लैंड में है इस वक्त, तो उन्होंने हमें ऑडियो लिंक पर ज्वाइन किया है। मिकी, थैंक यू वेरी मच दैट यू हैव टेकन आउट टाइम फॉर अस. My first question to you is that the core of Pakistan and Sri Lankan squads were built and identified by you, of course, and they are similar in so many ways. So, what are the elements that helped you in placing that core of players?
The core of the Pakistan and Sri Lanka squads are based on raw talent alone. It's about identifying players that can play at the highest level. It's about identifying potential match winners and then giving them the wings to grow and the roots to fly, giving them the opportunity to get stuck in and become the best players they can possibly be. You do that by making them own their games, making them believe in their game plans, and giving them clear role clarity. And then you've just got to be consistent in your selection, and you've got to give them the opportunities to become those players, because you've already identified that they have the qualities that are good enough for them to become world-class players.
The teams of Sri Lanka and Pakistan were built on around that core, of course, but it has rough edges, still rough edges. How could these be polished to get the desired results?
Yeah, the teams still have rough edges, and you've got to understand that as a coach, that it takes a while for players to really understand their games, understand situations, and understand when and how to navigate themselves through those situations. They've got rough edges. You know, you can't go and buy experience. You can't go into a supermarket and buy a can of experience. You've got to actually experience under pressure match situations in order for you to be able to handle them and handle them properly in the long run. So those are things you've got to do. So that's why consistency in selection and consistency in clear role definition are so important. And if you give the player those, they will grow and grow very quickly.
What is your take on relying upon the data and the matchups between players for decision making, especially for a pressure game or when the situation changes rapidly during a game?
Matchups and data interpretation are good, and they need to be looked at and need to be studied before a game. But you've got to understand that your best bowlers and your best batsmen are still your best bowlers and batsmen. I mean, you know, if you've got a left arm spinner that's a gun left arm spinner, yeah, but you don't really want him to bowl at left handers. But at a point in time, you've got to bowl him, because the match situation will tell you to bowl your best bowler, and he might be your best bowler. However, matchups are really important, and you need to be armed with that information before you go into games, because that allows you to make tactical decisions, and tactical decisions that are best for the situation that the game's thrown up and are best for the team at that period of time.
Mickey, tell me about this anchor role or the ability to shift gears. What can be done to help players switch gears?
Ability to shift gears both up and down is very, very important for batsmen, particularly in 2020 cricket, because the game's broken into three phases. So you've got to take toll of that power play. You've got to be really aggressive through that period of time. And we must understand that by being aggressive through that period of time, you can still hit the ball on the ground. You don't necessarily have to hit the ball in the air. You can still hit the ball on the ground and hit gaps, because if you're hitting gaps, you're still getting boundaries. Then in the over 7 to 15 are still really important. You've got to be able to back your boundary hitting option as a batsman, but you've also got to be able to hit pockets and run hard, because wickets in hand, we know, so at from over 16 to 20, which is the last phase of the innings, are so important. And if you have wickets in hand, you can go at 50 to 60 in that phase. So it's all about going hard, then shifting down a gear and hitting pockets and changing your style ever so slightly, and then it's about wickets in hand, taking toll at the back end of the innings. Because that's why bowling sides are trying to bowl sides out and trying to take wickets at over 7 to 15. You're doing that because in that phase of the game, if you get enough wickets, you stunt the opposition's ability to take toll of you at the death. Obviously, this changes if you're setting or chasing a target, because match situations determine, once you're chasing a target, match situations and the scoreboard tells you how to play. But setting up a game is really important, and that's when those principles are particularly adhered to.
Mickey, my last bit to you is about the Pakistan middle order, which has Iftikhar Ahmed, which has Asif Ali and Khushdil Shah. What is their issue? Are they lacking caliber? Are they lacking confidence? Or they are not executing the goods desirably? Or you see no issue with them?
I think with Ifti, Asif and Kushtal, that they're there in different roles. It's very clear that Asif's role's to finish. But if you're going to go in at number 4, as in the case with Ifti, you've got to have the ability to score runs and score runs big at an acceptable enough strike rate. The same really with Kushtal, because they allow you to have a left-hand, right-hand combination in that phase of the game, which is quite important. However, they need to have the ability and be the caliber of player that if you're 2 down for nothing, can get a big score and can give you a winning target. So look, if those are the players that are back, they've just got to keep backing them in and providing them with the opportunities to become the best players that they can be.
Thank you very much, Mickey, for your detailed overview of the Pakistan situation and the Sri Lankan team as well. Thank you very much. मिकी आर्थर ने जो लास्ट में बात की कि अगर आपके 2 खिलाड़ी भी बगैर किसी स्कोर के आउट हो जाएं, उसके बावजूद भी आप में ये सकत होनी चाहिए, ये कॉन्फिडेंस होना चाहिए, ये कि आप एग्जीक्यूट कर सकें। ये मिसाल हमने श्रीलंका का जो मैच हुआ था पाकिस्तान से, उसमें देखी थी कि पाकिस्तान ने 5 खिलाड़ी उनके आउट कर दिए थे, गालिबन 60 से भी कम स्कोर था। उसके बावजूद भी श्रीलंका ने स्कोर बहुत बड़ा किया और फाइनल मैच पाकिस्तान के खिलाफ जीता। तो ये वो कोच हैं जिन्होंने श्रीलंका के भी उन प्लेयर्स को बनाया था जो इस टीम में अब खेल रहे हैं। ये पाकिस्तान आई थी टीम, याद होगा आपको, जो सरफराज कप्तान ही थे और मिकी को हटा दिया गया था और मिकी श्रीलंका के कोच बने थे। तो ये टीम लेकर पाकिस्तान आए थे, उस टीम ने पाकिस्तान को बुरी तरह से मात दी थी। उस टीम के कुछ प्लेयर्स, बल्कि खासे प्लेयर्स आज की श्रीलंका टीम में शामिल हैं। इस तरह श्रीलंका के खिलाफ जो पाकिस्तान की टीम, जब मिकी आर्थर के अंडर पाकिस्तान की टीम थी, तो पाकिस्तान के जो यंग लड़के हैं उनको आइडेंटिफाई मिकी आर्थर ने किया था मेरी इत्तला के मुताबिक, जिसमें बहुत सारे प्लेयर्स शामिल हैं जो बाद में पाकिस्तान की टीम का हिस्सा बने बहरहाल, और जिसमें बाबर आजम बहुत बड़ा नाम है। बाबर आजम को नर्चर किया, बाबर आजम को कॉन्फिडेंस दिया और बाबर आजम यहाँ तक पहुँचे हैं अब। तो ये थी कहानी मिकी आर्थर की ज़बानी जो आपने सुनी। प्रोग्राम आपने देखा, 2 हिस्सों में था। कामरान अकमल की बातें आपने सुनी और आखिरी सेगमेंट में हमने पाकिस्तान के साबिक कोच से आपकी मुलाकात करवाई। तो आप इजाज़त चाहूँगा मैं आपसे। खुदा हाफिज़।